my audience. I'm just panning the audience for my information speech. And if you do you want to hold it? You can just hold it. And
Okay.
can you see in there? And just basically. Okay, my speech is about the common cold, and there's a cure for the common cold. The common cold is the most mysterious, most misunderstood health issue of all time. It's a mystery that's existed since the beginning of time. When someone says, I have a cold, they're actually saying, there's something in my body that's causing me to have the symptoms of a cold, which is sneezing, coughing, runny nose, watery eyes, chills, body aches, headaches. If you have a fever, they don't call it a cold. They call it the flu. And if you have a temperature of 104 degrees and greater, and your symptoms last over 10 days, then you should go to a medical doctor. Over 1 billion people catch the cold every year, and that's those who have actually sought treatment. A lot of people just suffer with the cold and don't even go to the doctor, so there's probably 4 times as many people that actually get a cold. They actually believe that the cold is caused by a virus. There's 200 viruses that they have determined to cause the cold, but there are about 40% of the colds that adults get that they have no idea what causes it. A year ago, I had allergies, and I was taking allergy medication daily, and I thought I would have to take it the rest of my life. I went to several healing masses, and over a period of time, I began to realize that I was cured. I understood what was causing my allergies or my symptoms of a cold, and they were not really allergies. It was actually a cold that I had. Okay, my understanding came slowly over time, just as the sun slowly comes over, rises, and eventually becomes the light that lights the world and allows everyone to see. And this happened with me. I could actually see what was happening. My concept for the cure for the common cold is a process, and it's ongoing. But I have actually cured my symptoms. I no longer have my symptoms. There are 3 main points to how you can also cure the common cold if you have the same symptoms and if they're not viral. First, you have to control the environment, the temperature that you're in. And second, you have to exercise, because this can combat the cold and actually reverse the symptoms. Third, you could use protective clothing and protective measures to avoid and reverse the symptoms of the cold. And this is in the very early stages. If you take these precautions, you will not actually get the congestion can be reversed, and you won't get the more severe elements of a cold. Early last spring, actually, one incident helped me to realize how the cold actually affects the body. A little 6-year-old drowned in the water. She'd been in the water for just about an hour, and it was 60-degree water. They rescued her, but she died because she had been in the cold water. So, this clicks in my mind. I realized 60-degree water is dangerous. I never knew that before. Another incident earlier this spring, there was a young man who was outdoors, and he died of exposure. And this was not in the winter, this was in 60-degree weather also. So I realized 60-degree weather is not safe for the human body. Then I read in my health book that the core has to be kept warm. And the core involves the heart, the lungs, and the brain. And if the temperature of your heart, your lungs, and the brain are 95 degrees or less, this is critical to the body. When I took a physical education class, it also said that small changes in temperature are critical to the body's health. It can really affect you. So I started to put 2 and 2 together, and I realized the temperature, the cold, was what was causing my illness. So, so the solution is, first of all, to control your temperature. Be aware of the night and early morning temperature when you're sleeping, because I realized during the night the temperature would drop and I would not be protected because I was asleep. And a lot of people the same. And I would wake up with a headache, sore throat, swollen glands. Didn't know what it was, thought it was the allergies. It was the cold that affected my body. And this is actually called hypothermia. The body exposed to the air is called air hypothermia. If it's exposed to cold water, it's called cold water hypothermia. In both cases, the body reacts the same way, but actually air hypothermia is more dangerous because it can happen over a period of time, which probably happened in this young man's case when he was outdoors exposed, and he didn't realize it was building up in his body and it actually killed him. So you can't expose your head or your chest to cold temperatures because it could actually create a heart attack, so it's very important. So it's important to heat up the body core temperature, and you can do this by exercising. And exercise can also reverse any congestion or cold air that's already been taken into the body and helps warm it up. And the third way to prevent the common cold is to wear protective clothing. They used to, in the 1800s, they wore a nightcap, and in fact, newborn babies today have to have a cap when they're first born to help them stay warm because they can't. Their body cannot stay warm. So a lot of people today also can use a nightcap in the evening when the temperatures are going to be colder at night. Wear a hat, wear some kind of a protection so that you don't get a headache or congestion or runny nose. Because, you know, they say, science has said that 90% of your heat doesn't escape from your head, but the truth is, if we were going around naked, that would be true. But most of the time, the only thing that's exposed is your head, so it makes sense that 90% of your heat does escape from your head. Okay, so in summary, you can avoid a common cold by paying attention to the temperature changes and by wearing protective clothing and by exercising. And in avoiding the common cold, cure the common cold, you can actually go through life and never have to experience the symptoms of a common cold if you pay attention to all these elements. And so hopefully that you never have to ever be exposed to a cold again, or if you are, you know what to do, and the rest of your life can be free of the symptoms of the common cold. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your help.